Just checking.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, sorry, I was just getting changed.
You're good. I just figured. I know Flash will be in soon, but I think we should just get started.
Word, let's do this. I'm gonna move everybody around.
Woot woot.
My clipboard with all my notes.
Haven. All right, bam. Everybody's where they need to be. For now, till Flash jumps in. All right, fellas.
All right. Hello. I'm just loading up the stream, seeing. Hello. Okay, yeah, hey, that's us. Woo. All right. Well, let's see. Last time on Arcanus Rebirth. Last we left off our heroes, having concluded a tense interrogation of the Goliaths. You set your sights on the towering slopes of Mount Cord and descended into the mighty halls of Grimslav, home to the Dwarven lords. The city thrummed with life, its stone streets alive with the ring of hammers and the murmur and singing of deep voices. But of course, your thirst for adventure led you to first the Mithril Stein, a legendary tavern within the city of Grimslav known for its potent brews and rowdy patrons. It wasn't long before you found yourselves embroiled in a drinking contest, mugs frothing ale raised high as you tested your mettle against each other. And the night took a sharp turn, however, when our Havelock, our Triton half-elf friend, decided to proposition Helga, a barkeep, whose patience with outsiders was already thin. Her response, a swift and unforgiving. You were all cast out into the cold stone streets of Grimslav, where you once celebrated endurance for drink has failed you. As the rest of you laid passed out, the weight of dwarven ale too much to bear, Havelock remains the last man standing, consciousness barely hanging on. No, rewind. He didn't drink. The last man standing. Now, with the torches twinkling in the streets, the city of Grimslav continuing to bustle around you, the question lingers: what will you all do next? Flash, you Havelock. You're standing there in the street. All of your compatriots passed out around you.
Half passed out and inebriated. The guilt of not knowing common culture.
What?
What did I say?
Let's get wild under the sea.
So who is anyone still up that was with me?
I think Haven might be extremely inebriated, but still conscious.
Yeah, I think I'm conscious, just,
Yeah.
Just sloshed.
Do I recall if we got a room somewhere?
This was probably where you were thinking of doing it before you
Right.
got thrown out.
Shoot.
I'll say in the distance you see two dwarven guards on either side, and you see a dwarf, shorter, black beard, and kind of mohawk braid that goes down to his midsection, with each dwarven guard either side, and you can see he wears like a similar iron mask to what Emmanuel wears. You can see them heading towards you down the street.
Oh. I collect my thoughts real quick, and I'm like, okay. And so I because Emmanuel was with us, and he did the drinking thing too, right? So
His face is in the street next to you.
So I'm gonna approach respectfully to the dude in the mask, and I'm gonna speak in Dwarvish because I can do that. And I'll say, excuse me, I apologize to bother you. I apologize. Can I ask for your assistance with something? It's in regards to one of your kinsmen, who's one of my current friends. If I may.
Well, what do you need?
We're in dire need of accommodations. They apparently did some drinking contest, and we got thrown out of the bar. Emmanuel is your comrade, and I really need a place where
You see him like put his hand on his mask and he rubs it away. He looks down to where Emmanuel is. Oh god. Cracking drunkard, and he'll boot Emmanuel in the face.
Oh
Give me a let's say Constitution check
Okay.
to see if you can gather yourself
no! I am very
from that
surprised.
pain in the face.
Ah. 6. Six.
You stay just like literally just goes,
Oh no!
"Lads, help me with this one. You're all with him then."
Yes, he's helping us around. We're from out of town.
Crikey, more outsiders. And he looks at the guard and says in Dwarvish, and they gather a few more guards, and they begin to hoist your compatriots like over their shoulders. Follow me, you elven bastard.
Yes.
I
thank
need
you,
a
sir.
contract from one of them.
Oh, that's right.
They're not touching your skin. They
Okay.
grab you were small enough that they literally grab you by the belt
Oh,
and
That's
They
lift
probably
you.
wear
sad.
gloves too.
They do 100%. They're wearing
That's
armor
so
and
sad.
things. They like grab you by the belt. You're the smallest of everyone.
Yeah.
Dang.
And they start leading you towards this large building. It takes a while. You have to travel throughout the city streets, but it takes you to this large temple-looking building,
I'm
ornate,
totally carrying all
large
the junk.
stone pillars. Yeah. They bring you to a room in a building at the base of it. How do you and your lads can crash here until the morning.
Thank you so
We'll
much. I
deal
really
with
appreciate it.
Emmanuel when he
Oh.
awakens.
I apologize. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I really appreciate it. In all Dwarvish.
What?
I'm not.
Yeah. And I'll speak in Dwarvish. What be your name, elf?
The name's Havelock.
Hemlock. Well, keep a cordan. I'll be seeing you in the morning.
Okay. I have no idea what he said.
How's a Cordan?
So yeah, he introduces himself as Keeper Cordan.
Okay.
Cordan being his name.
Perfect.
Keeper being his title.
All right.
So your compatriots still fucking out, probably for the rest of the night.
Very, very.
Haven is drunkenly like he probably got towed along.
Yeah, and I just like sit against the wall and I look at Havelock and I go, and all over him, and then I'll fall asleep.
Solid. All right. And Havelock, as you lay your head to go to sleep yourself.
After I take all my armor freaking off. And
That's right. And as you drift to sleep.
Oh shit.
Merc,
Oh,
as you're sleeping, you find yourself standing in your childhood home. A place that feels both distant and unnervingly close. The hearth is burning, but its warmth feels hollow. Its light flickering weakly in the dark, oppressive air. There's a storm outside, and it batters the windows. Wind howling and rain pounding as though the world itself is coming undone. Yet inside, there's a suffocating stillness. Sebastian. A voice breaks the silence from behind you. It's unmistakable, though it shouldn't be possible. Your father's voice. Deep and commanding, but something in it feels off. Turning slowly, You see your father standing by the fireplace. The familiar face twisted in unfamiliar softness, as though trying on an expression that you've never seen him with. Look at you, your father says, his voice quieter now, though still laced with an authority that you remember all too well. What has become of you, son, after all these years, and you're still lost? The figure steps forward, the firelight casting long shadows across his face. There's a smile, but the smile doesn't reach his eyes. It never had. You're not the man I wanted you to be, he continues, his tone calm, almost soothing, though it grates against every memory you hold. But I'm here now. Tell me, what is it you want? As he looks at you. There's no warmth in the question. It's clinical, almost as if he's testing you. The soft edges of his voice don't match the cold stare. It's as if he's mimicking something that he's seen, but doesn't understand. What's driving you now?
You show up now. This many years. I'm glad I'm not the man you hoped I would be.
He steps forward closer, his gaze unflinching. It's like, don't pretend you don't know, Sebastian. You've always had your weaknesses, always hiding behind what you think you should be. But I see through it. I see what you really are. The fire flares, casting a harsh light on the room. Your father's voice drops low and conspiratorial. It's him, isn't it? Vandal. The vampire who shattered what little you had. He's out there while you're here. Still a shadow of yourself. The pause, the air thick with unspoken judgment.
My eyes narrow at him. It's interesting you would know about such things, being gone so long.
I know a great many things, Sebastian. You want to hurt him. I know you do. Your father continues, the soft edges of his voice growing sharper, but it still carries that false gentleness. You can try to hide it, but you can't fool me, Sebastian. Not now. Not after everything he's done. How can you stand there and not want revenge?
Whoever you are, you've done a convincing job. I'll take a step back.
Your father's figure shifts slightly.
Good. If he shifts,
His
I might
eyes
pause.
narrowing. He watches you closely. It's pathetic, really. All that rage locked up inside you. I always knew you were too weak to act on it.
There,
For a moment.
That's more his. That's more his style. I say.
For a moment, your
familiar.
father's face changes, something darker twisting beneath the surface. But the voice turns smooth again, almost coaxing. But maybe you can surprise me for once. Maybe you're finally ready to do what needs to be done. As the room grows colder, the figure steps even closer, his presence looming. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? It's time to admit it, Sebastian. Time to face what's been gnawing at you. There was a long silence, broken only by the crackle of fire.
Why don't you tell me what I want or what I need to do?
Your mother misses you, the figure says, almost as an afterthought. But there's something unnerving in the way he says it. I've been with her. She watches you. You We both do. The words feel hollow, strange. Your father never spoke of your mother like that, not with tenderness. And yet the figure leans forward, his gaze heavy with intent. She's been waiting, wondering why you haven't come to visit her grave, why you haven't found peace. Do you think she's proud of what you've become?
I stride up to him, into his face.
The storm immediately outside intensifies, but the room within, there's still that suffocating stillness. Your father's voice softens again, but there's no real comfort in it, only something masked as concern. Don't you want to see her again? You could, if you finally act. If you make him pay for what he's done to us. Your father's eyes gleam. The false smile fades, leaving only a cold, calculating expression. You'll never be free until you do. You'll never be more than what you are now. Take your revenge, Sebastian, for you. For me. The storm rages outside, but inside, all that remains is your father's looming figure and the weight of his words hanging heavily in the air.
Being into your mind and your strategies, whoever you are. You almost had me. You spoke of her. That was your problem. But I have learned something today as well. Stare hard at this, whatever this is. I have a thought, but
I'll be seeing you again soon, Sebastian. As he waves a hand, the storm ceases and everything goes dark. As your eyes begin to groggily wake open with this throbbing headache, as you see your companions begin to awake in this strange room that you've never been in. As everyone gets a long rest,
Yay.
and you all begin to wake up.
I am washing my armor. Brush I found somewhere in the room.
I quickly get ready and make my way downstairs. Wash up and eat.
All right. We're never doing that again.
I loved it.
That was a fine night of drinking, gentlemen.
What happened?
Well,
I think.
something wrong to a lady.
Oh, wine.
Didn't you try to sleep with her?
There's not, you were too drunk to understand what I said, friend. As I try to hide what happened. I said I offered something and she didn't like it very much and got kicked out of the bar and you guys ended up in a ditch and then I asked for some help and we ended up here.
What did you
Manuel,
offer
you're in
her?
trouble, by the way.
Oh.
Where is
I'll
she?
say, Daniel, immediately you recognize the room that you're in.
I've probably been in here a couple of times.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh.
You would also know that the room is locked. This is
What do you
where
mean?
you tend to hold. This is where you tend to hold unsavory guests.
Oh, is it a prison?
To a degree, yes. It is a comfortable prison.
Holding cell.
It is a very comfortable holding cell.
Oh, I see. There's no like
Nice.
downstairs with food or anything like that.
No.
I rolled a 6,
Oh.
by the way, for Lily. Just I'm saying. I know you don't
Okay,
care.
pick whatever you want.
Well, we have our rations and our bags and things, so I mean.
Yes, you have all your equipment.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry right now. Where's my rock candy?
Emmanuel, you would know that there's a guard stationed outside, though.
Yeah. Would I know which guard should be on duty today?
Give me, we'll say history check or
Sure.
insight.
11. I had to reload my character sheet here, so hold on.
I know mine's being weird.
I think it might be D&D Beyond.
It is.
Ah.
See if it works any better on my phone.
Boo-doo-doo. Where'd
Give
Bert
me a
go?
D20 roll. Tell me what you rolled.
It's 11, so it'd probably be like 15 or something like that.
15 or 16, yeah.
Yeah.
You would know that it's probably Jor, J-O-R.
Door. Okay.
Jor.
Jor. I like knock on,
Hey,
you know,
are
whatever.
awake? Yeah. Hey, are you awake, lad, are you?
Yes, we're all awake. Let us out
Bringing in
now.
more riffraffs, huh?
They're fine folk.
We'll get Cordan and we'll see what he says.
Oh, Jesus.
And you know Cordan as your superior keeper of Cordan.
Yeah.
Several moments go by. You all eat your rations and prepare yourself for the day. As the door opens with a swift boot kick, and you see, holding his mask in one hand, and you see this braided mustache into a shorter braided beard with this braided, like, mohawk ponytail, standing at a good 4'5", bulky with the similar color robes. You see, I had a bit of drinking now, did you, Emmanuel?
Yes, sir.
Did you win?
No.
Well, which one of
My
these
winning
riffraffs
days are-
outdrank you?
I'll raise my hand.
Yeah.
You got
Cup
beat
of-
by a fucking elf.
And,
And might I add,
laughing at you.
a frog too.
okay.
Oh, a frog! He got beat by a frog! And you see the two guards outside start laughing their asses off. Oh my lord, we should demote you just for that, lad.
Ah.
Now what's be
Huh.
their business here? The blue one said that he was with you, as in together. Take that
Well,
as you will.
There.
yeah. I'm bringing them to see our other guest who's here. They were looking for him.
They want to get into the library, do they?
Yes.
He walks up to Haven, being the one who beat you who won the drinking contest. He eyes you up and down. I don't know if he's got it in him, lad. Only one way to enter the library of the Khazad room.
I think it's pretty safe to assume they can do okay based on what I know.
You ready to face the trials of Roshando? Are you, elf boy? And he pokes you with a big meaty sausagey finger, Haven.
Sure.
But only those who face the trials may enter the Khazad room and gain their knowledge. You must be deemed worthy of knowledge. And that's where your wee friend is. And he's not coming out. Not until he's done. So if you want to be talking to him, he'll be going through the trials.
Yeah, I hadn't mentioned it to them yet, so they're
Yeah,
unfamiliar with them.
what do these trials entail?
I will. Gather round ye lot. You're not just walking into Khazad Rune and plucking knowledge off the shelves like a common bookkeeper. No. What stands before ye is the trials of Roshando, crafted by the ancient keepers themselves, to test the worth of those seeking the deepest secrets of our people and of Arcanus. Each trial is a test of your soul, a test of your mind. And he pokes you right in the chest. And he goes, and your strength of heart. These trials are no simple riddles or puzzles. Oh no, they'll put you in situations where right and wrong blur like the mist in the morning. Ye'll be tested on how you handle the weight of knowledge. For some truths come at a terrible cost. It'll seem like you've been plucked from here and tossed into a far-off land, or places you've never seen before. But it's all the magic of this place. Roshando watches, and he'll know if you falter, or if you're worthy to hold the knowledge that we guard. So, steel yourself if you're ready for these trials. These trials are nae for the faint of heart. And don't think a blade'll see you through this. Lad, it's your soul that'll be tested here. Fail, and you might just wish you hadn't stepped foot in these halls. Now, do you think you're ready for that, lad?
Yeah.
Are we though?
I'll be fine.
I think we'll make it just
We'll
fine.
be alright.
Okay.
All right, then.
Havelock,
Then you'll be following me.
I'm gonna walk right up next to Haven, and I'm gonna pat his shoulder and say, "I don't know about you. I think I can do it."
Yeah, to be honest, I stopped listening halfway through, but I think we'll be okay.
All right. Now, you vouch for them, Emmanuel?
I do.
You think they can handle it? Because it'll be your ass on the line if they don't. I think
I'll like look over his
I think
shoulder.
after losing the stone throne to a fucking elf, I think you'll be going in with them. I think you might need to be retested, lad.
Imagine everybody looks hungover because he looks over at his.
Oh, it's fuck shit.
One of us is puking.
I'll look over his shoulder and like just look at the group, like you said, with them all like, yeah. Then I'll look back. All right, I think that's fair. I could use a test.
Come on then, lad. You'll be following me into the chambers.
We're going where?
And these
Sure? We really want to do this.
This tests
We'll
your
be
mind.
fine, Trey.
That's the
Putting
problem.
bigger
you
back
follow
on.
him out of this house as you guys get your stuff back on, and you lead you up these like this whole place is very like ziggurat looking, very like almost like Mayan temple with the stairs leading upward. And about halfway through, he leads you sideways into a stone door archway. And he leads you into this large chamber with a very large stone door with arcane dwarvish runes all over it. All right, lads, you'll be entering here. And if you're strong enough and you got the right heart in you, then maybe you'll make it out. And we'll let you into our library. Fucking losing to it else. And he like just like starts walking off, puts his mask on.
Before we go in, I'll untie my wrist wraps, take off my cloak and my mask, and I'll hand it over to him before he leaves.
Well,
I guess if I'm being tested again, I can't go in there as a bloody librarian yet, can I?
Oh Lord, we'll see if you come out as one. And he grabs him from you, and he puts him like on a shelf, like there's a bookshelf, like stone shelves in there. And he goes and sits there, and he just lights a pipe, and he just leans back in like a chair. Are you ready, lads?
Let's go.
As he slams down like a stone pillar, like that's like in the wall, like a big stone button, and he hits it, and the door, like kind of like you see that like beam of light in the crack of the door as it opens, and smoke begins to billow out of this room.
Like when
Prepare
you
your
the boss
mind.
in Elden Ring.
It's too dark to see what's in there.
Prepare your minds, prepare your souls, and prepare your body.
I'm gonna cast on myself. I can't see my D&D Beyond, but enhance ability for the whiz check. I don't know what it is. Probably like an owl or something.
Okay.
But
Well,
just
you
in
can
case.
probably look it up without D&D Beyond. Just look it up.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So as you enter this chamber. You find yourself in a vast ethereal space. The walls are carved from like smooth white marble, softly glowing with drifting starlight patterns. In the center stands a towering statue of what looks to be an angelic figure with flowing robes. Un momento, por favor. This is not an exact image, but I'm going to give you an image of what I think the statue looks like, but just imagine flowing robes on it. I'm going to put it in handouts. Because I want you to get an idea visually of what this guy looks like.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah.
Very righteous.
Yeah.
Flowing robes and majestic folded wings, his calm, ageless face gazes down at an open book in his hands. As you approach closer, you see an inscription with the name Roshando. A gentle light emanates from the statue, filling the room with a serene glow. For you people taking notes, it's Ro-Shan-Do.
Is that R-O, R-O-E?
R-O-S-H-A-N-D-O. That's it.
I gotcha. Roshando. Gotcha.
At Roshando's feet lies a circular dais, its radiant glyphs pulsating with a quiet energy. The air feels alive with a presence. Under the name is inscribed the following: the guardian of Marinway's lost library, a place of long forgotten secrets. A voice, soft yet resonant, fills the chamber. Welcome, seekers of truth. I need to change this music a little bit because I need to. Okay.
Can I try to understand the glyphs?
Sure. What languages do you speak?
Celestial, Common, Conic, Druid, Dwarvish,
You had me at
Elvish, and
you
Sylvan.
had me at Celestial. They are definitely celestial glyphs. Hold on.
Today's positive is brought to you by Shop and D&D on Etsy. If you want any minis or fun things for your D&D campaign, please check that out at shopandd.com.
We just put up the new dice trays, so
They're sick.
Great gift
All
ideas.
right. Parental stuff going on. Anyways, that smack was heard throughout the internet. Anyways, that was embarrassing. Anyways, the voice, yet soft yet resonant, fills the chamber. Welcome, seekers of truth. You stand before Roshando, guardian of the lost library of knowledge. Knowledge here is earned, not given. Step forward and be judged. The dais glows brighter, and the air around you all crackle with ancient magic. The walls of the chamber seem to shift and shimmer, and before you know it, the stone floor beneath your feet gives way. You are no longer in Khazad Loom, but standing in the heart of a grand dwarven city. Its towering buildings are carved stone rising high into the sky. The square is packed with dwarves, their voice a cacophony of murmured conversations and angry shouts. As you approach... Go ahead.
Nope.
Okay. As you approach the crowd, before you, on a raised platform, stands a young dwarf in shackles. His face is pale, his eyes are wide with fear as he gazes upon the assembled crowd. Next to him, a grim-faced dwarven judge, draped in heavy robes, addresses the people. Othar, son of Grum, you stand accused of treason against the crown, conspiring with the enemies of the realm. The evidence is clear, your fate is sealed. In 1 hour's time, you shall face at the axe. If any have words to speak, speak now. The crowd erupts in noises, some calling for justice, others begging for mercy. As you take in the scene, a shimmer appears in the air, and the spectral figure of Roshando materializes before you, translucent but imposing. And he says, "This is your first trial, the weighing of truth. Before you stands a man accused, and you are tasked with judging his fate. Know this, truth is a double-edged blade. What you uncover may not bring peace, yet peace without truth may lead to greater harm. The knowledge you seek will cost dearly, no matter the choice. Now go, decide." The crowd seems unaware of Roshando's presence, and as he fades, the weight of the trial setting in to your shoulders.
Well, we need to figure out. We need to get some real information, not rumors. Find out and try to get a little closer. That'll get us. I mean, if he is treasonous, truly tried to go against the crown, maybe he should, die.
Fair
Maybe
point.
we can
Could
talk
be
about
alright.
that and the morals of that, I suppose, once we have an answer. But I'm gonna look around. So there's a lot of like norm or common folk cheering. Some are like, please.
There's people, some are very angry and want justice and want this dwarf dead, and some are begging for mercy to have him released.
I'm going to go talk to both sides, whoever's like, and try to find someone who's not foaming at the mouth. Who seems like they're.
Give me an insight check. I feel like this is more insightful than because
17
you can
on
see what's
dice.
going on.
16.
16. With a 16, you can see again. There is a possibility that if this dwarf is set free, that violence may come. Is a high possibility.
So we're at that point now where we got to think about the well-being of.
But there's
Nancy.
plenty of people. You see plenty of dwarves who are calm enough to be communicated with,
I'm gonna go up to
who are
him.
open to communication. Which side are you looking for? You
We'll
talking to
start.
someone who wants him dead, or someone who was looking for mercy?
I'd be
We'll
doing-
say. Yeah, we can do both at the same time. Someone else can go. I
Yeah,
will do
I'm-
the.
I
doing the
try to
same.
find mercy.
I don't know. We'll see mercy. We'll do mercy. Yeah.
Okay.
For,
you
for
can-
me and then
you can
whoever.
say, give me a persuasion check. It's really, I'm just gonna say on the crowd as a whole.
Yeah.
I want a persuasion check.
Ooh, nat 20 on die. Rolling hot.
Oh, really?
Oh,
nice.
20,
Hell yeah.
24? 22, sorry.
What do you say to these dwarves to convince them to speak to you?
I'm gonna go up and say, I represent this fine man legally, and I'm hoping to find something that can help him out of this. He's hired me, but it's not looking good. I thought perhaps you could give me some information so maybe you could tell me something I don't know, or you seem really adamant that he's not guilty. If you know anything, or if you have any good information that might help him.
You talk to this female dwarf who's in the crowd who seems to be in tears. Oh, I know Othar very well. He was an outspoken critic of the ruling council, particularly against one of our nobles. His name is Lord Cargoyle, Kargol. They get into a hushed tone with you. I'll say with that natural 20. Cargoyle's influence has grown quickly and somewhat drastically, and Othar had a confrontation, and it seemed to a public confrontation between the two of them, and then shortly after, Othar was arrested.
That's a matter of public knowledge. Like that's
Yeah, there was a so what she says is there was a public confrontation where Othar publicly confronted Lord
Yeah.
Cargill,
that does
and
seem
then very
suspicious.
shortly after that, he was arrested.
You have to be honest with me as legal counsel. Is there anything though that any truth to what they're saying, even a hint of it, or is he just a dissenting political, or
Well, you'd have to talk to the judge up there, and she points up to where the house, because they say the evidence is damning, but
what do you
they
know
don't
about
let
this
us
judge?
common folks see it. Not much. He's
Anything?
our city's judge. He deals with all. He's more of a judge and executioner. He deals with all legal matters. So at least the finalizing them, he investigates the evidence.
Do you trust him?
He's never. I've never had reason not to.
All right, thank you. I appreciate this information. If you think of anything, I mean, we don't have much time. We have an hour, so if you think of anything, or you talk to your friends and they have any information that could help them, be much obliged. All right, that's how I will deal with that situation.
Good day to you, lad.
Thank you.
I'd like to go out into the crowd and just use my good ears to see if I can spot anybody talking, like any facts, or more importantly, like seems how I've been around some shady people lately, especially like going back to the beginning. Is there a group that looks more interested in him than that, like rumors being set up, kind of?
Give me an insight check.
Nope, that's a 5.
I will reiterate what I've already said.
Okay.
One group is very calling for his release, and one group seems to be at the point of, if this man is not killed, there will be violence within the city. That they are that thirsty for blood.
Guys, I think he's guilty for sure. This is,
Can I go up to someone in the? If he gets released, we're gonna destroy this place. I just want to go find same thing Merc did, but just on the other side.
Sure. Give me a persuasion to see if you can get someone to talk.
Okay.
At the same time, I believe I overheard Merc's conversation, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, you all were around
the judiciary desk.
Sure. Okay. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna do a manual thing, and then we'll jump to you.
I got a 12 for persuasion. All I'm saying though is I'm just gonna start with, I'm sorry, I'm just not from around here. What did this man do? What is his crime that justifies this horrible
with a
thing?
12, all you get, you didn't meet the DC, so all you get is just angry, like, he's a traitor and he needs to be dead, and they just start like shouting more and like getting more like riled up. That time seems less agreeable to talk.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, Flash, you can do your thing. That's it.
Flash. So you're going up to the judicial board there.
Yep.
You see Othar there. You can hear him, because he's close enough, you can hear him pleading with anyone who will listen to him, like, you have to believe me. I'm innocent. I've been framed. And then the judge will every once in a while be like, keep your mouth quiet, you traitor. All right, what can I do for you?
So these are dwarves, right?
Yeah, everybody's a dwarf here.
I will speak in Dwarvish as much as I understand.
They've been speaking in common right now, but feel free.
I'll present myself as I'm about to say. Excuse me, I'm from a delegation from outside the city representing the people of the ocean. I would like to learn more about your culture and what's going on here. What are his crimes?
Well, the evidence is clear. He's been a traitor to the crown. He's been conspiring with outside forces, our mortal enemy, in fact. The evidence is all right here. You feel free to take a look.
Oh,
The evidence. I'm looking at where he's pointing. Is
Yeah,
there
there's a
evidence?
table. There's a table of papers and documents and testimonies and things like that.
I'll lock eyes with Merc and kind of do the.
Make my way
And
over there.
I'm gonna go to the evidence table. Thank you very much.
If you would like to go through the evidence, I will need an investigation check.
Yes.
Would it be good if I just help him, or should we? Let me help him.
Sure, I'll give you
Do that.
advantage. If
Okay,
you're
cool.
both looking.
Yeah,
for
we're
it.
both. Yeah. Here we.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. So after examining these documents and the evidence presented at the trial, it reveals there's some inconsistencies with the dates of witness testimonies, and there's missing records that should exist for someone accused of such high treason. You notice that the documents bear the signature of Lord Cargill himself,
Yeah.
who, from the sounds of, from what you guys know of, I would say, if you talk to Emmanuel and you speak Dwarvish, you have some knowledge of Dwarven culture to a degree. You know that this high-ranking noble wouldn't normally have any involvement in this kind of hearing.
So I look over at Havelock and I'm like, okay, so it's clear this guy, or at least to me, it looks like this guy is innocent. But if there's not a head that rolls, it looks like this place might blow up. So we either need to convince the crowd that to not enact on their violence, if we're gonna present this evidence and try to get this guy out of here.
Can I be?
Let's
Am I
just-
in this? Can I be close to this?
Yeah, you were all close together, and Emmanuel, you can see Othar again is reaching out to you like, I've been framed. You have to let me out. You have to believe me.
Hey, so he's totally guilty. All right, from what I hear.
I think
It's all been falsified.
I think it's undecided, but I think you're right. If someone doesn't die today, there's gonna be, well, more than one person's gonna die if nobody
Or
dies.
maybe if we just the promise of a head rolling, maybe we can convince them that either we're on the trail of the real guy, something or that, I don't know, something along those lines, right? That prevents us from having to let someone die, but still gives them, either settles them down or.
Is there like a timer? Is there a clock somewhere? Something
Yeah,
that
said we have an hour.
You have an hour from when it was announced.
So
Havelock,
I'm trying to see how much time we have left.
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
While this conversation's going, you're still kind of looking through the paperwork. Give me 2 seconds. I'm looking at my nose. 1 second. You see a small crumpled up note within the pile that says, "What you uncover may not bring peace, yet peace without truth may lead to greater harm." And it just says "bro." I'll say you've been probably 20 minutes to a half hour into this.
Can I go over to the guy that is being accused and just
Sure.
I want to ask him and roll. I want to do an insight. Is what I want to do. Is just fully be like,
100%.
did you do this?
Give me an insight check.
I don't know my insight ad. I think it's a what is
What's your
insight? Plus, it's
wisdom?
whiz, so it's +3.
Are you proficient in it?
16. No,
Go to bed.
Okay.
16.
She should be. Go to bed. Sorry, 16?
Yes.
Othar's fear is real, but so is his conviction. He doesn't seem to be lying, though his desperation might make him seem unreliable to others.
Okay.
I think we should do our best to.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, my friend. There's obvious bias and notes of a mistrial here. I think that the truth of the fact of the matter is that we've had someone who's pride is hurt, but is really trying to find a scapegoat to the issues that they're dealing with, and it seems they found one through this unfortunate man. But the truth of it is that we're seeing that there's just forgeries and misinformation that's being plagiarized as the truth. The problem is the judge is quite already stuck on the verdict of the bias that we're seeing here, and the fact of it in the
Whereas
papers
the
right
judge
here.
paid off.
Exactly. It could
I'm
be.
not so sure the judge has a choice. I mean,
Yeah.
if they let
Right.
this guy free, it seems like chaos will ensue.
Unless we can convince
Well-
the crowd.
I think
That-
that's the.
Could.
Okay.
Ooh, wait. I have an idea. What if? Oh, I might need a dwarf for this one. But you look at the papers and you grab it and you turn around and you scream, "It's a mistrial! Look at the evidence!" Like it just this whole thing.
Make it blow
big.
it up.
Yes.
Well, that
Hold
will
on.
certainly incite the crowd, I believe, into a frenzy.
Wait.
It will do us no
Let me-
good if we present it and the crowd still. I mean, he's still locked up. Like if they decide, okay, we're going to kill him.
Right.
So we should. I think we should get all that information in line and try the judge first. We have no reason not to believe that he's not doing it. If he lies, then we can turn around and be like, look, here's all the information. But we should make up a story to the crowd to try to lessen it. I don't know if we can.
May-
I don't know if you try to reason with a mob is ever going to work, but
I mean, we
Lie.
could
I
have
have
a
like a
question.
literal dragon too.
I have a
We do
question.
this, like Drake. So I don't know if that's scare him at all, but who knows.
If I, looking at the evidence and the man and his name, if I think back, was this a real trial? And if it was, can I try and recall any information about it?
Give me a history check.
I know that's a stretch, but okay. 22.
Okay.
With a 22, you look
Not
around
bad.
and you think, it isn't bad. Emmanuel, this, not only have you never heard of this man, your surrounding areas this does not look like any city within Arcanus that you're aware of.
Hmm.
The likelihood that this is a completely fabricated illusion per se,
Yeah.
is probably spot on. That this was
Okay.
not a real situation. This is meant to test you. It is meant to test that no matter what choice you make, something not great may happen. Truth and knowledge come at a cost, but the withholding of truth and knowledge also comes at a cost, and you have to choose which one you're willing to pay.
I look at the group and I tell Mark says, I'm not the best human. Done not very bad things. But if the mob decides to do something, that's not our choice. But what is whether or not we can help this innocent man. I'd hate if my head was on the block and I didn't do something. Or even if I did and nobody came to help me. I would be disappointed.
I agree with you. If he's not actually guilty, you guys said you found evidence that you don't think that. Is everybody
I think
out
you
there
should
saying he
we
is?
should quietly talk to
Circumstantial.
the judge and
At least-
then if he judge his reaction, if he's like, oh yeah, you're right, my God, we gotta let him go, and then be like, well, let's try to
Right.
calm the crowd. If he's like blows us off, we know he's corrupt, and we can try it, then we can read.
And here's how we do it. The crowd needs someone to hate. We pointed back at him. And I'll point at
Judge?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, if he's dirty, I like that. We try to convince him that he's dirty and he's the problem. Like, you want to.
Or I think
I like
there
that,
really
I
is
like
a
that.
dirty person here who would be the one who could be paying the judge.
My only thing is we don't know how. Yeah, and again, this is a test. I was like, we don't know their allegiance to this guy. Like, are they on the verge of not liking
We don't know.
the
I
noble? I think the judge is a good idea, actually.
Shining the light on the corruption of the current government, I think, is the right way to do it.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so.
But then we're just
Um,
trading a life.
Well,
Well, there's a
But
knife
he's a
that's
corrupt
innocent
one.
and a knife that's guilty.
You're right. You're right.
One that's
Right.
guilty and one that's
You're
not.
right. You reap what you sow, Judge. And if you're dirty,
DM.
then you reap what you sow. You were trusted with the faith and belief of the common person, and to use that, you're getting Merc all
Let's go
riled
talk
up.
to the judge.
Merc is monologuing now.
Yeah. I know. We're doing
We only
this.
have-
Let's go.
We only have about 40 minutes. Let's go.
Tim,
Um,
I'm holding a reaction to cast Sanctuary on the accused.
The guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go talk to the judge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna gather the.
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
put Lily right in front of the guilty,
Like the stage?
non-guilty guy. Yes,
okay.
just like
Alright.
as a barrier.
So you present your argument to the judge.
Yes.
Mhm.
I show him, hey, Judge, I'm sorry. I don't know if anyone's pointed this out, but these timelines and this is really suspicious. And it
Worth
seems like you
looking
only
into
have
at least.
one witness who's willing to sign. There's plenty of problems
As
here.
you step forward, the crowd notices you.
Shit.
They see you bring the papers up, and they kind of roar in outrage as you step
Right.
forward, presenting the evidence to the judge. The judge hesitates, his face hardening as he looks at the proof that you display before him. For a moment, it seems like chaos is about to break loose. The executioner lowers his axe, uncertain. And the guards step forward, hands on their weapons, in between the crowd and Othar. The tension in the square is palpable, but the truth has been spoken, and Othar is freed. They release him from his binds. He's staggering off the platform in disbelief, but the crowd is not so easily swayed. Angry voices start to shout from all sides. Justice has been upended, and the city's peace hangs by a thread. As the crowd threatens to boil over, beside you, Merc, Roshando appears again. This time his voice thunderous, but with an edge of respect. Said, "You pursued truth, no matter the cost, in a world built on lies. You've brought light to the darkness, but know this, as you see the crowd begin to overflow and push against the guards, starting to rush against the stage. Know this, truth often comes with a heavy price, and the peace you've shattered may never be restored. The consequences of this choice will ripple far beyond what you see here today. And as the city square fades, you return to this dark stone chamber. And let's take a break.
Perfect. I can figure out what's wrong with my D&D Beyond.
The first
I just
time
need
that
to
we've
be
had direct information,
Yeah,
we did
it's
it and
horrendous.
nothing crazy happened. We actually got
You
the
guys-
outcome
that-
that we were hoping
Like
for.
literally, I have like all the encounters, and I have checklists off of like, okay, well they did that, cool, they did that, cool, they did
That's
that.
awesome.
There's a couple you didn't do, but only because you were so successful on the other ones that you didn't need to.
All right, we'll be back in like 10 minutes or so. Hey, we're back. Hey, Vinny coming in.
All right.
Vinny. All right.
As this chamber materializes around you, stone floor again, this large, high ceiling chamber. In the middle of it, you can see what carved out of like marble and stone, this great tree coming from the base and spreading out into the ceiling, spreading like branches. There are several murals around each wall around this chamber. At the base of this stone-like tree, written in Celestial, but also written in Common, you see the Eru Nimloth. Like I said, this place is surrounded by different murals that you could go up and look at it if you got closer to see what they were.
What did it say underneath it? Or did you say it said?
It said I'll type it out just because it said the Eru Nimloth.
Does that mean something to anybody?
Does the Celestial say the same thing?
It does. It does. Give me a religion, or we'll call it history check. To anybody who wants.
16.
16.
Oh, I'm gonna history.
I got a 14 for religion.
18 history.
Got a 16 religion.
I didn't know.
So, Mark, what was yours?
16 history.
16, and Haven, yours was 16, religion?
Yep.
Okay. So you, Merc, Haven, and Emmanuel. And I would say, Haven, for you especially, the Eru Nimloth is what is known as the God Tree. It is from where all life began. History and religions all tie back to this tree. That life sprouted from in the astral sea. As you, and Haven, you especially, that name strikes true to you because your tree in Cytera is called the Nimloth tree, which is rumored to have been planted from a branch of the Eru Nimloth, and which is what gives your people ever the immortal life, the extended life that they seek. If you look at the first mural as you're looking around, you see a seed, this mural of a seed floating within the astral sea and landing on this piece of land floating. And then it shows the progression of this tree growing. And from it, a beautiful woman being grown from it. And written in Celestial and Common and a bunch of different languages every time you look at it. Haven, especially you reading all languages, every time you look at it, it seems to be in a different language that you speak or that you can read. This being is known as Amari, Mother of Worlds, the firstborn of the Eru Nimloth and caretaker of the Holy Gardens. You look to another mural, and you can see the creation of the elemental planes and the elemental titans rising from the roots of the Eru Nimloth. And then that leads to a door. that begins to, as you finish looking at this mural and seeing the story of the creation of this tree in this garden, of the firstborn of the Eru Nimloth and the rise of the elemental titans, the door begins to open. And you hear the voice of Roshando say, "These trials will test you, but they will also show you what you need to know."
Yeah, I mean, I'll start moving to the door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
You enter through this large stone door. Sorry.
Damn.
Also on the
Creation.
shop, I'm gonna be posting some dead trees and
Nice.
Perfect for stocking stuffers.
Right? So, you are transported from this chamber now into a new space. The scene around you shifts like a dream, blurring into focus, and you find yourself standing in the heart of a grand ancient city. The city is in the midst of the golden age. Its spires reach towards the heavens, and its streets are bustling with scholars, artisans, and magicians, all thriving under the banner of knowledge. Before you stands a grand building, a library, much like Marin Way's Lost Halls, but in its massive tomes line the walls, scrolls are piled high, and arcane glyphs dance along the shelves. At the center of this magnificent hall, a pedestal stands with two objects resting upon it. A worn, ancient book bound in cracked leather, and a glowing crystal sphere filled with swirling light. As you approach, the voice of Roshando echoes through the chamber once again, this time more solemn. You have passed the first test, but now you must face a greater challenge. The knowledge you seek is powerful beyond measure, but so too is the weight of its legacy. Before you, two paths diverge. Roshando's form appears briefly as a shimmering figure, guiding your attention to two objects. One is the wisdom of the ancients, a book of untold secrets that could change the world if shared. But knowledge, once released, cannot be undone. In the wrong hands, it could be ruined. The other is a crystal of containment, a vessel that can store the knowledge away hidden for future generations or never to be found. The world will remain as it is, safe for now, but the knowledge you came to seek will be lost to time. The choice is this: take the book and allow knowledge to flow freely into the world. This action would grant you powerful secrets that may aid you in the future, but the consequences of releasing such knowledge may bring instability, both to the world and to others. Or you take the crystal. You choose to seal the knowledge within the crystal, safeguarding it from those who might misuse it. This will deny you the immediate power of the book holds, but it will preserve the balance of the world and leave potential for future generations to discover it in a more responsible age. Here you'll find scholars and men of knowledge to question and ask their opinions on the matter. But in the end, the choice is yours. Take the book or seal it away, as Roshando's figure dissipates.
I'll quickly say in Celestial, but wait, I have a question. And he's gone. Shoot. I look at Haven and I'm like, how many generations do we live again?
Well, my people won, but
Oh. Sorry.
no, it's okay. It's a
I
blessing.
assumed. I apologize.
I'm gonna be honest. I think we take the knowledge.
But that releases it
I don't agree
everywhere.
at all.
Right.
When you get surrounding, you see these spectral images of scholars alike, and you can hear them somewhat discussing the same question that you're discussing.
It's
It might
oh, go ahead.
no, it might release the knowledge, but at least people will know. At least they'll, instead of it being hidden away. I mean, what use is knowledge if it's hidden?
Yeah, I mean, you would lose history class too, and you know, that was my favorite
Is
class
this
in school.
just some sort of? Is this
Best
vague
plan.
knowledge, or is this supposed to be like bad? I mean, is it dangerous?
It's
It sounds like
powerful
there's
knowledge.
some consequence
Sounds like
for
it's-
releasing it,
yeah.
though, right?
Well, it's a
I
bet.
don't-
Do you want to bet that people will be able to use the knowledge to better themselves and put your trust and faith in the moral attributes of your everyday folk, or hide it away and believe that people will be better?
Problem is, it's never gonna be like that.
People will always be people.
Right.
There's always gonna be hidden desires, and
always gonna be good and bad. You're
Right.
never gonna have the better utopian society. There's always gonna.
I think you're right.
So the moral objective here is culture gonna be better with it released or better with it kept away?
or it could just remain the same.
Right.
As it always does.
I'm gonna look around the different wise people or whatever we're calling them.
Sure.
Is there another elven type person?
Sure. You want me to tell you? There's 8 people in this room. You want me to kind of give you
Go ahead.
a quick?
Quick
So
rundown.
I'll even say, because I feel like I should back up. Maybe Ro explained who these people were, just because I feel like that's makes more sense. So you have the first scholar, who is described as an idealist. The second, a historian. One, the revolutionary. One is a cynical mage, the archivist. There's a visionary, protector, and philosopher. They all seem ambiguous in race. They seem more like spirits than anything else.
I will walk over to the philosopher one.
Sure. So as you walk over, they don't seem to acknowledge you very much, Havelock, but you hear him say, "Perhaps the question is not whether to share or hide knowledge, but who should wield it. Are you certain that they have the right to make this decision for others? And if so, what makes you any different from the tyrants who suppress knowledge for their own gain?" And they go back and they start muttering and they kind of like disappear a little bit and then reappear somewhere else, but like continuing the same line of thought, continuing the same like wordage, but different ways.
And I get. Sorry, are you done, Flash? You can go ahead.
Yeah, I was ready to move on to the next one.
Okay, I was just gonna say I'm gonna get the oh Jesus, I'm losing my train of thought. The visionary
Okay,
and the cynical one, and I want them to debate in front of me.
sure. You hear the
Yeah,
you see, no, that's fine. You get catch them in a moment like together, and you hear the cynical mage go, "You idealists amuse me. You speak of knowledge like it's a tool that anyone can wield with perfect clarity, but knowledge is chaos. It doesn't bring peace. It brings prosperity. It doesn't bring prosperity. It brings ambition. You give a man a sword, and he kills his enemy. You give him the knowledge to shape the world, and he becomes the enemy." And there was a visionary.
yeah.
And he goes, "I see a world where this knowledge is shared, where the barriers between realms fall and we learn not only from each other, but from the stars themselves. I see a future where magic flows freely and technology evolves in harmony with it. But such a future cannot exist if we hide in fear of what might go wrong. And he goes, and then the Cynic goes, and this is why you're an idiot. And then he like this keeps on walking by like each other and kind of fade away.
I spaced out for a second. Did you say was there a holy person or like a cleric of some sort here or no?
There, no, these are more.
Okay.
There's the idealist, the historian, the revolutionary, the cynic mage, the archivist, the visionary, the protector, and the philosopher.
I'd like to go up to the historian and listen to his stuff.
Sure. You speak of progress, but what you fail to see is that every great fall begins with such optimism. Knowledge is not a gift, it's a burden, a responsibility that few can carry without being corrupted. I have seen kingdoms fall and their rulers driven mad by power they sought to control. Would you truly risk it?
I'm gonna walk up to the protector one myself.
Okay. Sure. And I see a future where the knowledge you release burns the world to ashes. You do not understand the hunger of men and their greed, their lust for power. Once this knowledge leaves your hands, you lose control. Could you, and he looks you right in the eye, Havelock, and goes, could you live with the consequences, knowing you held the match that started the fire? And he shakes his head and kind of begins to walk off.
Is there a general consensus of like the book or the orb? Is there a general like,
No,
or is it
they
pretty
seem
even?
pretty split. They're just a bunch of spirits giving their opinions.
Gentlemen,
Yeah,
I
I'll walk
see a
back to the
decision.
middle.
I don't know. There is one point to be made. Maybe I'm playing devil's advocate here because I'm going to contradict what
Yeah,
I said a minute ago.
Go
but
ahead, Merc.
I definitely think that, is there a lack of? Are we saying that this information is just going to go freely? Nobody had to work for it. I think that being able to obtain knowledge should be free, but there should be a responsibility of like having to go get that knowledge. You know what I mean? So everybody's just going to know all this stuff without the I don't know, the responsibility of taking the time to go and find it, or you know what I mean, like unchecked. That's the reason why we put checks on things.
Perhaps it's not unchecked, but perhaps individuals with lesser than moral motives would still put in the effort to gain the information.
In which case, kudos to them for putting in the effort. I'm not necessarily saying we should. Now I'm just kind of playing, like I said, now I've become the bickering. I could see both sides. I can. Merc can't. I started thinking like Merc. Merc would also understand that. He works I work in secrets. And so to me, there's an effort that is needed to find that information. But if we're saying putting this up denies people the ability to ever learn things, or I think.
But it doesn't, though. It doesn't deny the people the knowledge. They can find it themselves.
But it also screws us over, right? Like that's also our information's in there.
We don't get the knowledge.
I believe.
So don't get the knowledge there.
Go ahead, Mike.
What knowledge was it of again?
We don't know.
It was
powerful knowledge.
Power to shape the world.
Again, this is from your last one, this is probably, you personally are not going to gain whatever this book is. It is a choice to make.
It's just a choice to make.
Judging,
and we're getting judged on
judging your character.
Yeah, this is the whole Q from Star Trek thing. So,
Yeah. 100%.
So, yeah. So what I'm gonna say is that we don't know what the knowledge is, other than it's powerful. We can understand that people are gonna be people, as we've heard around the room, that they battle too with the good and the bad, and anyone who pursues the knowledge, or however it's delivered to people's consciousness, it's gonna just, they use it for good or they use it for bad, and it's just gonna have to be what it is. It's the way I'd imagine it is, if a civilization is without magic, and then we're releasing magic,
It's like,
it's just going to be what it is.
when Dad would tell me like I couldn't know until I was older, you know, like that kind of thing. We just keep it away from people unless they're showed the way, right?
I see it
Or
as a
they
choice
work
of
hard to figure it out. Like if this is like,
That's
I think
why
of it like you're going to give them, you're going to take them from the Bronze Age to, you know, to the Industrial Revolution or something. It's like, okay, but if we would have done that in 1500, sorry, I guess in 900 DR,
yeah.
that might have been dangerous, right? Because there wasn't the effort, you know, there's not a responsibility or, you know, it's just, you didn't have to work hard for it. And it's just a thought. There's a moral dilemma.
Perhaps, but I
Say we
see it
can
as a choice between cynicism and optimism. Do you trust people or do you not?
I think the moral high ground here is that the knowledge is, put it this way, it everyone owns it, not just for a select few, or who are we to say who can't have it. I think it's for all, regardless of who pursues it.
Plus, if we make it through this, we're gonna get to the library. We can find the knowledge anyways, right?
I mean, who knows if it's what we want actually, but I say my vote
I think we just put
is
it to a
this
vote.
for everyone.
Yep. Who
I
thinks
say
it should
for
be for everyone?
Aye.
That's one.
I'm raising my hand.
3.
We're
Oh.
Okay.
And who wants to store it away?
We have an even number.
You guys, the rest of you three are voting. Store it out.
Wait, did you raise your hand, Bobby?
Yeah. Nope. To the
No,
second
okay.
one
Who
I
wants
did.
Oh,
to
to the
store?
second one.
Yeah, who wants to store it away?
I just think maybe we should talk about it for a minute longer. Well,
I just,
so,
I think
are
we're
we
reading
assuming
too much.
that we're denying people and we're denying something they could?
Because I don't think we're
figure out.
denying their knowledge. As he said, they can have it, find it later.
What were his exact
It's just
words?
not the knowledge now. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the exact words were? I can give that to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Chance, what were you gonna say?
That matters.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't think, you know, this is a moral dilemma. I think this is just
A math
it's
game.
just what we want to do. It's not, because either way, people are going to use this knowledge for good, and people are going to use it for bad. We don't know what this knowledge even entails yet.
Do you want his
But-
exact words, Noah?
Yeah.
All right. So what he said is, one is the wisdom of the ancients, a book of untold secrets that could change the world if shared.
Mhm.
But knowledge, once released, cannot be undone. In the wrong hands, it could bring ruin. The other is the crystal containment, a vessel that can store knowledge away, hidden for future generations, or to never be found. The world will remain as it is, safe for now, but the knowledge you came to seek will be lost.
Okay, so we are unleashing secrets, right? But we're not. But in theory, people could figure
Find
it out
Someone could figure it out.
themselves.
Eventually.
Or they won't.
Or they won't.
Or they
But
won't
also,
know.
that's a possibility if we store it away.
Wait, is current state of it stored away so no one can access it?
Yeah, and he did say that the little addendum there of, or maybe not, meaning like there's a chance that choosing this means this knowledge will never be found.
Yeah.
There's a chance
There
of
is
that.
a
Then I've
still
got to switch
chance
my
that-
vote.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that's
Yeah.
because then it's a loss of that knowledge that could be, you know. The idea was like, oh, they're gonna figure it out for sure. It just may take a while, and then they've earned it. Or no, there's a chance this knowledge will never be released. It could help the world, could hurt it, of course, but
I agree with
I'm gonna
that.
change my vote. Yeah,
I'll
you guys
agree
heard
with
it.
that.
That's convincing.
If, you know, if we could make the crystal be like it releases it to one who's worthy of the knowledge of the
Yeah.
Or if we were just guaranteed that stuff would be found out. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would be amazing.
yeah. Hey, I'm taking these moral
You
dilemmas.
you made your choice.
Yes,
Yep.
I think so.
You just
Forward
gotta-
to-
you just gotta pick it up.
Or we
And
switch.
Pick up your choice. Pick up your choice.
I'll pick up the book.
And put it in the crystal for someone to find out later, or
I think he's
Yeah.
just taking the book.
I'm just
I think
taking
they're
it.
just taking the book.
We're
Isn't that what we
releasing it.
landed on?
Yeah, we're releasing it.
That's what the majority vote said.
Yeah. So we're
Right?
doing
Yeah,
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
too late. You did
that
it.
ancient knowledge.
It's majority.
Yeah, boy.
As you, Emmanuel, as you reach for the ancient book, the air in the chamber grows still. And the moment your fingers touch the worn leather cover, a surge of energy pulses through the room. The glyphs on this pedestal flare to life, and all the spirits around of sages and scholars disappear. And the voice of Roshando echoes through the chamber. You have chosen to release knowledge into the world, so that it may guide others towards a brighter future. But beware, for knowledge is a flame, and in the wrong hands it can burn the brightest of empires to ash. You hold the keys to change, but also to ruin. But it is how you yield it that shall shape the fate of the world. Go now, bearers of wisdom, and let your choices determine the legacy of what you have learned. As the light fades and you feel the weight of your choice settling upon you, the future is uncertain, but the power to shape it now rests in the hands of the people. As you
Yes. America.
chamber
Yeah. Fuck
ends,
yeah.
you're brought into another stone chamber. Here, the tree is gone, but instead you see more murals line the walls here. To your left on this large mural, you see the 4 elemental titans that once waged war on the surface of Arcanus. You see the image of Amari again, above these elementals, and in between them, the creation of life. You see a being with like white stone representing lights, and you see this being obviously forged by Amari and these elemental titans. This being with pale skin and long curly red hair, and like this is and you read and the inscription on the bottom of this mural, and it says the firstborn of Amari and the elementals, the Norsai, as the elementals are called, and and there is an inscription, but it is completely scratched and erased and unreadable. All that you see there is this fiery-haired being, this creation of the first god, basically, born from the Eru Nimloth and the elementals, their power put into one. You look over and you see a mural of the elemental titans of war. Back up. That's the third one. Second mural, you see the elemental titans and their firstborn, this red-haired, almost long-eared, elven-looking creature. And you see a crack in between Amari and her firstborn. The separation between the two of them. In the next mural, you see Amari planting seeds at the base of the Eru Nimloth. As it continues, they grow into these 5 eternal beings. And underneath each name, you see Marinway. I have to look at my names now. Hold on. Notes I wasn't ready for.
This pause in the game for lore has been brought to you by Shop and D&D on Etsy. Good for
Okay,
your,
I got it.
your holiday shopping for D&D right now.
It's in my lore of Arcanus on our chat. So, you see the names under each one. You see, hold on, Marinway, Fanira, Laurel, and Boar. And underneath each of them, you see symbols. These symbols that if someone wants to try to figure out, give me a Arcana, History, or Religion check. I'll take one of the three.
I'll throw a history in there. Ooh.
Chance, give me a history with advantage.
Is it Arcana,
Alright.
History,
Four.
or...
With one of them. For only one of the symbols for you.
24.
24.
16 religion.
Sorry, I said history, not Arcana. Sorry, Chance.
What was the three
History.
options again?
Say that again.
What was it? It was Arcana, History.
History or religion.
Okay, I have a 20.
did.
What was that, Chance?
It's a 12.
I got a
So-
16 religion, by the way.
Are 20 plus people. Each symbol represents a realm. Underneath Marinway, you see him, and you're linking him with the responsibility of the creation of Arcanus. He is the creator of what you all know as the material plane, as of Arcanus. Laurel, you see connected to the Feywild. Let me look at my notes again so I don't get Boar. You see connected to Yizgard, and home of many of the celestial gods in the celestial realms. Within Yizgard, you have Mount Celeste and the ancient battlegrounds, all the places where various races believe their final resting place is. Fanira creates the Shadowfell. And I'll say, Noah, Emmanuel, you know Fanira is the mother of the Raven Queen.
Mm.
So you see these children, these second set of children set aside for where this rip between the firstborn was, these new children made on her own, separate from the elementals, were born to create these planes of the world. And there, the final, you see the four elementals again with their child. Red hair, flowing, with a large grin on his face, next to the door that opens.
Yeah, let's go. I love this interpretation of the creation myth. It's beautiful.
As you are transported, the world around you warps again to a new setting. This time you find yourself standing on the edge of a battlefield, a scene of chaos and destruction in the distance. Towering citadels crumble under siege, and legions of soldiers, wizards, and creatures clash. You see titans of fire, water, earth, and air, and you realize you're at the battle of the elemental, in the midst of the elemental wars. Ahead of your party stands a single towering figure, some sort of mage clad in black cloaks, surrounded by arcane energy. You hear Roshando say, "This mage was once a hero and has grown too powerful, bending the laws of nature to his will. His once noble pursuit of knowledge has been twisted into a hunger for domination, and now his power threatens to unravel the very fabric of the world. And the scene you see is frozen in time, a single moment captured in this chaos. And the mage's hand is outstretched towards what seems to be like an ancient artifact, one that pulses with an overwhelming and dangerous energy. You hear Roshando say, "Power corrupts, and even those who seek it with the noblest of intentions may fall to its temptations. Before you stands a soul consumed by the magic you sought to master. You must decide the fate of this mage, whether to grant him redemption or to end his reign before it's too late. But be warned, the choice you make will have consequences beyond this moment. You must choose to attempt to redeem this mage and help him reclaim his lost humanity, or bring his power under control, or to destroy him, preventing his corruption from spreading any further and saving the world from his corrupt influence." And I'll say we'll end there and pick this up next time.
Oh,
Oh.
Sweet.
Can I retcon something? Well, one, I didn't get the glyphs at the beginning that were next to the tree.
They're celestial, but they were just like magical glyphs that caused some of the magic. It wasn't anything like.
Yeah, I mean I can read it, so I just wanted to know.
Yeah, you can read that. They're not words per se. They're, you know what I mean. They're magical glyphs in celestial.
Yeah, and then the second thing, I wanted with the second last room that we were just in, that was talking about the lineage and all that. Can I take verbal notes with my docent?
Perfectly, yeah, that's fine.
I don't know
So
if
you
it
can
lost
recall
connection
this?
while we're here or not,
Oh, he's still there.
but I wanted to just tell it what I'm seeing if it doesn't look around on its own.
I mean, it can see what you're seeing. So if you were wanting him to remember that, you can easily tell him.
That's what I wanted to do, is remember what
Totally.
I'm seeing.
Totally.
And then
Yeah,
just
that's
have it
easy
keep
enough to do.
recording as we go through.
Yeah, he's keeping a mental picture of it all.
Perfect.
All right. Hey, good job, Jimmy. We got Black Roses Bloom this Saturday. And then next Tuesday, we'll be back with the next chapter in the Veiled Chronicles. So I'll update the stream, and we'll see you then.
Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bells wherever you watch us so that you can comment on and do comment and do the things and stream.
There you see? Perfect. It's 4 years and I still forget that, and it's completely organic. I'm not